Hey guys, I just wanted to go over some of the stuff that we talked about, or that we didn't get to talk about on Monday and Tuesday since I've been gone. So I wanted to make a video and kind of show you guys how um, we were meant to do this. So the first thing is the success criteria. I can find and solve for any missing part of the percent proportion, and I can correctly identify each term in the percent proportion. So this was your first page of the notes on the Pear Deck. And what this showed was finding the percent, which is this part of the proportion up here, finding the part, which is what we've been doing, and finding the whole, which is the denominator over here. Most people were able to do the middle one correctly. I'm going to say almost everybody was able to do that one correctly. There's a few people that missed it, but very few. And then I'm going to say about half of the people got them all right, and then a few people just missed these completely. So I wanted to go through and talk about how we would go about solving these. So the first part is finding the percent. So the percent is on the top of the 100. So a lot of people, what they did when they got down to this 45 is they put that this was 45%. And we're not saying it's 45% of 90. We're saying 45 is what percent of 90. So let's look at this example, and they are given the part and the whole. So 84 is what percent of 96? So 84 is the part, 96 is the whole. The percent is always over 100, and we don't know the percent. So normally what we would do in this situation is we would divide the percent over 100 and get a decimal. Instead, what we're going to do is divide the part by the whole and get the decimal. And so what we do is divide 84 divided by 96, and you get 0.875. Now, it says move the decimal. This is supposed to be 2 places to the right. And the reason we do that is because we're multiplying by 100 to make it a percent. Okay, so if we move it 2 places to the right, we would get that 87.5%. And so 84 is 87.5% of 96. So coming down here, we're given the part and the whole, and we're looking for the percent. So the proportion should look like this: 45 over 90 equals, and I still put X for the percent over 100. So normally, again, we'd find this side and convert it to a decimal, but we don't have that side. So we're going to divide 45 divided by 90. Now, I don't know that, so I'm going to get my calculator here and do 45 divided by 90. You should get that it's equal to 0.5. Equals X over 100. Okay, so you can do exactly what this says and move this decimal 2 places to the right. I like to think of it too as you're multiplying by this 100. So you're still multiplying by 100 on both sides of the equation. So 100 times 0.5 is 50. And it's the same as moving this decimal place 1, 2 places to the right. I just have to add a 0 right here. So 50, and my answer is a percent. So my answer is 50%. So 45 is 50% of 90. That makes sense because 45 is half of 90. So 45 is 50% of 90. Okay, the second one is what we've been doing. So this is set up. We would convert this to 0.15, and then we multiply by the whole and get 12.6. So we would set this one up just the same as we have been. So x over 45 equals 70 over 100. We convert this to a decimal, which is 0.7. We multiply both sides of the equation by 45 by 45. So we get that x is equal to 0.7 times 45. Right? So we would just multiply point, we'd change this to a decimal and multiply by the whole. So if we do that, 0.7 times 45, 31.5. So my answer is 31.5. So almost everybody got this one correct, because it's the same thing we've been doing. Now this last one I think is the trickiest, is finding the whole, because instead of multiplying, which we've been doing, like multiplying by 100 or multiplying by the whole, this one we're dividing by the percent. So it's kind of confusing because we're looking for a denominator. This is the only one that we won't know. So I like to think, since it's on the bottom and it's like division, we're going to be dividing. So divide the part by the percent as a decimal. It's actually pretty simple as that. So divide the part, which is 15, by the percent as a decimal. I still like to set up the percent proportion so we can make sure that we have the correct percent as the decimal. Some people didn't do this correctly. So 15 is 25% of what number? My proportion. 15 is 25% of what number? So I'm looking for the whole. So 25 over 100. A lot of people just thought this out and said, well, if it's a fourth, this is like the same as a fourth, so x is going to be 60. Awesome. If we did it the way that we talked about here, though, we're going to convert this to a decimal, so that's 0.25. And then instead of multiplying by something, we're going to actually divide. So we're going to divide 15 divided by 0.25. And that's actually going to equal our whole, or our x. And if you don't believe me, we would do 15 divided by 0.25, and that equals 60, right? And so thinking of this as a fourth, we could find other equivalent fractions to 1/4, and 15 over 60 is an equivalent fraction to a fourth. So 15 divided by 0.25 is 60. So 15 out of 60 is the same as 25 out of 100. So 15 is 25% of what number? 60. So I really wanted to go through these examples with you because we just had some troubles with them. Again, a lot of you guys got them right, but I wanted to give you guys just kind of some guidance if you didn't understand. So the first one was a percent. We were looking for the top. The second one is what we've been doing. We're looking for the top as well, but we're looking for the part. And then the last one, we're looking for the whole, which is the denominator. And so we're going to divide by the percent. And that's going to give us the whole. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense, me going through it. If you have any questions, always message me on Google Classroom or shoot me an email.